Hi everyone. I keep getting a lot of questions about what I think will happen to the witch doctors in season 27. Here's a clip from the PTR, and most of you will probably have seen this, where the witch doctors were able to completely one-shot anything in the game, including Rift Guardians with effectively infinite damage. And not only that, but they could even one-shot entire packs like this if you combine this with the Demon Hunters marked for the Grim Reaper, because you were able to spread nearly infinite damage to like a large radius. So those runs were called the Croc runs because this used a new seasonal theme power with the Bogadile that is supposed to one-shot like trash, basically, and deal massive damage to elites. But there was like some kind of like misbalance, or some messed up numbers somewhere, and it effectively did like quintillions and sextillions of damage, which is obviously not intended. And there was no note about this in the patch notes, so people were a bit surprised to not see like any kind of official nerf to this. But I can give you confirmation it is nerfed. So you're obviously not gonna see witch doctors one-shotting everything with 0 damage. And if we have anything to go by from the other similar season theme powers from the Demon Hunter and the Wizard, so they have this Vengeance power and the Storm Armor power that deals like a certain amount of % damage to targets, scaling with the Greater Rift tier. And I guess it will be kind of similar here. Now, during the PTR, both the Wizard power and the Demon Hunter powers were actually nerfed, and they are effectively useless, I guess. They do like a little bit of damage now on like the boss maybe, so you can activate them once every 30 seconds, and then maybe do like something like 5%, 8% or so on the boss. So this is kind of how that goes. And the Bogadile can be activated every 20 seconds, so I actually wouldn't expect it to be any stronger than that, if anything weaker. So there were like some ideas about, maybe the Bogadile is going to be good enough so they can just like solo kill a boss with it in like a few minutes or so, let's say like 3 minutes. That would still be pretty good for certain builds on a Witch Doctor. For example, Mundunugu Witch Doctor usually takes like 5, 6, 7 minutes for the boss or so on the high tiers if you go like really ham on the push. And if the Bogadile alone can kill the boss in less than that, you can just completely kick out the Stricken. You can get Bogadile as the boss killer effect and another legendary gem. And legendary gems are pretty powerful on something like Mundunugu. So you can get a pain enhancer and scale up your damage like hell and fish even harder and kill the boss at the same time, even when you go higher. So that is still kind of a theoretical idea. Right now we can't tell how strong the Bogadile will be. But if we assume you can do like 5% a pop 3 times a minute, that's 15% every minute. So need like almost 7 minutes or so to actually kill the boss. That's probably not really good enough unless we're really talking about like the high-end pushes. So if someone wants to go for like 150 of Mundunugu or so, then maybe you would do that and you go for some insane rift, you clear it in 8 minutes and you kill the boss in 7. So you might see that happen. Like there is still the potential to do exactly this and just rely on the Bogadile, but it's probably not really good enough anymore. It's just like some extra damage, and you use it mainly for the pulling effect, which is like the main purpose of this whole power, I guess. So you use your Locust Swarm, everything is haunted, and then you use the Bogadile, and it pulls everything that has a haunt on it into the Bogadile. Now that pulling effect is actually really powerful. So you saw this here probably. You can pull like almost the entire screen into a pixel. So this also buffs builds like Mundunugu that rely on large density a lot. So instead of the Piranado, you have this now, which just works way better. It's way more consistent and really powerful in pull. So this is actually really strong power despite the nerf. In general, the Witch Doctor gets quite some powerful effects this season. So it's gonna be, if anything, at least very fun and interesting to play a Witch Doctor. So it doesn't look like Witch Doctor is gonna be like meta for anything. Even the Mundunugu, which we originally thought would be able to compete, it did get a bit of like a bump down, I guess, because of this Guardian set change. So this was one of those builds that was able to run Guardians 2-piece without the Ring of Royal Grandeur, which was quite nice, especially early on in the season when you are still like undergeared and underleveled. So this was actually helping the build a bit. Plus the Bogadile being quite powerful. Yeah, we consider this to be a potential like GR 150 trash killer, but I think it's not going to be precisely on the same level as others like Hoda, or the new Meteor looks extremely promising as well. And obviously the Nova Necromancer. So it's going to be kind of comparable, but probably harder to do, harder to gear, and still a little bit weaker at the very least. So we're gonna maybe see 150 clears if someone does it. It's definitely doable without like outrageous paragons, but I kind of doubt it. Anyway, I want to clear this up here for the Witch Doctors. I think that it's gonna be a pretty fun season because of the powers. They have really put in probably the most effort in the Witch Doctor powers actually. But in terms of like balance, it didn't really lift the Witch Doctors up to like the level of the other top builds now. So I guess you have to wait for another patch for that. And I'm personally also planning to make a Witch Doctor. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. And let's see what happens, but this will be like later in the season. And in terms of guides or so, I think the one thing to cover here would probably be the Helltooth Gargs. That one is massively buffed. I think it has like one of the biggest buffs of the season, but it's still like just a B tier build or so. But I guess a lot of people that want to play Gargs and some pet playstyle might be hyped about that, so I'll work on it soon. So I'm gonna leave you with this here. I just wanted to clear up some things about the Booger Dial. It's not gonna be like super ridiculous. It might be stronger than the other like percentage damage type powers like the Demon Hunter and Wizard have, but I wouldn't really bet my money on this. It's gonna be a bit noticeable. You can do it every 20 seconds. It's fine, but probably nothing crazy that just one-shots the entire screens with a Demon Hunter. So, hope you enjoyed this little video. I'm gonna keep you guys covered, so subscribe for more D3 content, and see you guys next time.